FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
You talk a lot about young people and in two different ways. We think of, many of us do at least, you see protests on the street and you see young people who seem to be under the control of mullahs and very receptive to the idea of violent jihad or whatever it is that they have in mind. And yet you also see a lot of hope in the young people, the nerds who use the cell phones and the other kinds of technology. Talk a little bit more about the coming generation and to the extent that you can generalize about it in such a large area.
It's an extraordinary issue for the future of the region because they're just beginning their baby boom. And 70% of the population is under 30, in some countries under 25. And these are people who know what's happened in the rest of the world. They're connected. They have some of the tools anyway. And they're going to define the political debate in the country and eventually define the political systems. And even in a place like Iran, I can tell you the contrast. This is the most restrictive society. When I first went to Iran during the revolution, I remember once when I flew in, I had very pale pink nail polish. Men wouldn't even notice the difference between what I have now and the pale pink. And the stewardess said to me, "No nail polish." And I had no nail polish remover, so I went to Iran with 10 Band-Aids on my fingers. And in those days, women had to wear black stockings, thick black stockings, and be really covered. Today in Iran, the girls wear bright red nail polish on their fingernails and on their toenails because so many of them don't wear black stockings. Now, sure, there are lots of young people, the conservative traditional families, who still wear their chadors. But I like to go back, particularly in November, to see the commemoration of the takeover of the American Embassy to get a sense of what the public mood is. They call it Pupils Day, and they make all the kids in the schools come down to the old U.S. Embassy. And I'm often struck by some of the Islamic dress. One of one of the girls last time had on a black skirt and a big baggy black sweatshirt that said across the front of it, "Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas." And even though we're cut off from Iran, it's quite striking to me how well Iranians know us. And the kids like to go to Western movies. And there was a twin bill a couple of years ago at one of the movie theaters, and they were showing Fahrenheit 9/11 and Kill Bill. So, you know, it's not this strict society. And the girls particularly, how they do it, I don't know. It's the physics of it amazed me. They wear scarves, but now they're brightly colored, and they wear them on the crown of their heads. I don't know, it's like they have glue or something. I don't know how they hold them there, and yet they never move. And they'll have big blonde, that luscious black hair, and they'll have big blonde streaks. I mean, you know, it's lots of makeup. It's a different place. The young now are of such numbers, even in places like Iran, that, you know, Khomeini banned Western music. He called it West-toxication. They couldn't even play Beethoven. When Rafsanjani ran for election 2 years ago, he'd been president before, was trying to make a comeback. He hired young girls who were roller skating around the city with the little boom boxes. He had, you know, the closest thing to rock and roll playing in tents in the parks. You know, it's just it's a different place. And that's because people have to be aware of what the young want in these countries, because that's where the votes are.